Welcome back to a very basic space program. We are in orbit with Dawn Station and we've got a problem and I don't know if we can fix it. Please join me. So last episode we went around one of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn or something like that. We launched up another set of crew to our Dawn Station and we docked them and we got rid of one of the resupply craft and we basically transferred all the stuff out of it. I've logged back in. I've gone to look at Dawn Station because I wanted to check how much longer we had on, where's the contract? On the 60 days contract, we've got 34 days. And I'm like, okay, we may need to send a crew home for that or something because we've got a bit of stress build up on one of the crew. My concern now, though, is I came in here and it says we've got 1 day of oxygen left. And if I just look at this carefully, I'll turn the RCS off for a second. So it's using a huge amount of oxygen for the pressure controller. We're actually, it's like we're venting oxygen. So then I look in here and you can see our pressure is at 8.17%. When I logged in on this, it was at, well, it was going down. It was at about 40 something percent when I clicked on it and it just ran all the way down to about 5. And I do not know what is going on. I don't know if it's because the parts have been compartmentalized or something. I don't really. It's almost like somebody's left the door open. So you can see it is rising as we watch. But my concern is if it takes more than a day to get up, what happens when it gets there? So we're going to run this forward and we're going to keep an eye on it and see what happens. So let's see what happens. We're going to run it forward a few hours. The problem is I jumped out of this and I went into the main screen again after I first saw it happen. And I went forward a little bit just to make sure it wasn't electrical or anything like that. I went forward and I came back and it did the same thing again. So I can't go out and just fast forward it. And you can see this time allowance here was going down in the main screen. So once it starts going down, Kerbalism will treat it as it's going down. These are the values. It's going to keep doing that. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. You can see we're at 32%, it says there, on the oxygen. What have we got going on? It's losing their mind. Angelica is losing her mind. Well, I can understand why, because we've got this situation. We're up at 83% now. Right, okay, so we've got 83, got 83. We have no pressure. Well, there is no pressure in this unit. Well, how does that work? You have no pressure in you. Is that the problem? Is it dumping pressure to a part that has zero pressure in it? That will be a problem if we always do this. So let's have a look. Have you got pressure? Where is your pressure? Where's your details of stuff? You are not detailing it. I don't see any details on you of stuff and things. Right. We've got two crew that are actually getting towards the, yeah, they're in 37% stress. I don't like them going over 50, but we'll see. I think you lose some controls as they go further, but I can't remember. I can't remember how it really works. Right, let's have a look. So we're now, it says 31%. All right, down to 30%. Right, with what we've got going on here, we've got something else happening, have we? Okay, oh, actually, while we're doing this, I need to check. Do we have any alarms set? We've got 140 days, so we're not in a massive hurry for stuff. If I want to go to Mercury, I need to build something. We've got the relays going to Mars there. We've got the Mel 1, Mel 2. Obviously, Mate 2, we had that issue with, we won't talk about. We won't talk about that. Go back and have a look at that episode if you really want to do that. So those are going to arrive when? They're going to be in 300 days. So about a year's time. Okay, right. So let's have a look. What's our pressure now? We're at 84. We're at 84. What else have we got that's got pressure in it? These don't. This has some pressure, but see, this is what's confusing me. It has a pressure controller, but it's not telling me if it's pressurized. I suppose it is just a utility module, so it would have a pressurizing thing for the habitat space. So we've got habitat space there and there. That is not, that's storage. These, do they actually have pressure readings? If anybody can see it, please shout below, but I do not see these as being pressurized. Right, maybe that's a problem with those. It just feels as though we've left a door open or something, is actually what it feels like. So we're on 84%. Let's see if we can get this thing all the way up to fully pressurized is what I'm looking for. And if that then fixes our pressurant problem. Right, let's have a look. Whatever happens, we're actually sending a crew home at some point. The problem is the station is so big now that to actually pressurize it is taking up a lot of our liquid oxygen. Right, we're 85%. Let's go a few more cycles. We're down into the hours now. 20 hours, 25. Right. What are we at? We're at 90. See, look, there we go. We've gone out of time warp and the station is spinning and we're losing pressure. What on earth is going on here? Right. I don't think that this is going to work. Whatever's going wrong here is not good, but I think this thing has to come down. Yeah. I think we're going to have to deorbit it, which I don't really want to do. So let's get the crew moved around. Get the RCS on, because that was uncontrollable spin there. So there's something going on here. I don't know if it's this, if it's some of the components we put together, maybe mixing the parts. I think this as a station is probably, wow, that is getting worse. That is actually getting worse. What on earth is going on here? It's like we've got a leak of gas from something. So yeah, the pressure's gone. Pressure has gone completely. We've got 17 hours of oxygen. We are not going to complete that mission. That 60-day mission would have given us a huge amount of funding. We're not going to complete that. At least we did the 4 crew in space. I currently cannot. Let's put it on the normal, actually. Let's go for normal. Put it on the normal and just stop the spin. There is all manner of spin going on right now that I do not like. Right, we need to get the crew off this very, very rapidly. Transfer data, no. Crew report, stop, no. So there's transfer crew, right. Transfer you into there. We're going to just transfer as many crew as we can. Transfer crew, come on. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. We've got to get off this station now. Transfer crew, come on. You transferring to there. There we go. These can hold 3, so we should have, we've got enough. This is why we leave them docked, just in case of situations like this. Yeah, this station has got some odd force going on with it now. And pressure, yeah, we have a big issue. Get into there. Right, so we should have 3 in there. So now we've got to fill this one up. Right, here we go. It takes a while, doesn't it? Overriding stop thing. Right, transfer crew. Transfer you to there. Right. Now, is there some down here? Have you got crew? What do you mean it's full? What crew have I got in there? Got 1 crew there. What we got in here? Crew. Transfer crew, where are you? You should be full, right? You are now full. This one is not. Let's try this one. Can we transfer crew from here? Yeah, okay, that's where we put them. Go to there. This, of course, will turn on all of the systems for this. So we're going to have to transfer crew. Right, you're in. Okay. Now, I'm not going to show you the return, I don't think. I think we'll just... You don't need to see that. Right. So let's have a look. Who have we got in here? Let's check it. We need 3 crew. We have 3 crew in there. Let's aim the camera at you, and this RCS should have stopped this roll by now. There's something big going on here. We're gonna get rid of dumping water. We're gonna turn on your thing. Is that one? Right. I've got 1 on. You. Let's see. Do I need to turn anything on? Do we need to activate anything? We've got all of these things that can just go on. You can go to on. Right. We're just going to decouple you now. We're going to decouple you. We're going to get you. Uh-oh. Where is the undock? Undock. Right. Let's see. What are we jumping to? Right, we are on this one. So if I jump back over here, turn the RCS on, is that going to help? Is that going to slow it down? No. We're going to turn that off. That's going to be a problem. Right. jump back to this one. Right, let's have a look. Can your RCS work? We don't have the avionics turned on because I turned them off when we weren't here. So there we go. Avionics back on. Right, can this now work? What? Okay, that's interesting. So because it was, the avionics were turned off. Okay, can I turn this one on? Right, okay, so now we have control, thankfully. So because we shut down the avionics in here, then we put the crew back on and then undocked it, they were turned off. And when it's turned off, you're not allowed, when it's set, you can't change it with crew on board. So we needed to turn on the avionics before we decoupled. Right. Does this engine do anything is the next question. Right, we've got to check all of these, make sure they're okay, get them running. This is going to be, yeah, we're going to be we're returning home pretty sharpish on this one. There we go. Let's see what else. Wow, that station is spinning. We just can't stop the spin, which means we could not dock anything else to it. Right. So I think, yeah, I think Dawn 2 is dead. We can't risk putting anybody else on that. Whatever that leaking situation was is a problem. So we're going to retrograde it. Something must be done. What's service? What's low? What is low? What are we running out of? Shielding, no. Oxygen. Well, where's my oxygen's on? Where's my O2 pressure controller? Turn that off. It's something to do with these, maybe. Are these draining it? It could be. Yeah, if anybody has any ideas, please shout below. So that's running to convert liquid oxygen to gaseous oxygen, and that is running right now. Let's actually have a look. What's running? What's running? We have food for 4 days. Got perpetual electric charge, oxygen. We've got LOX converters running, so that's fine. And we've turned the pressurizing thing off. What if we turn it on? Is that the problem? Pressure controller goes on and it's a problem. Right, okay. Something has gone wrong with this whole setup. Something just bad. Is it too many pressurizers? Is it something going on? I don't know. We may have to have a think about this before we do anything else, because I was planning on putting something like this around Mars, potentially. Not around Mars, but around the moon and then possibly Mars. Anyway, we were going to run out of oxygen in like 4 seconds there. We now have perpetual electric charge. How long have we got oxygen, liquid oxygen for? We've got 2 days. So it's not really eaten into it. It's just the rate at which it's used. Are our scrubbers on? Do we have scrubbers running? Let's have a look. They are running. We've got everything available. Right. Let's fire the engine. Oh, I forgot this one isn't working. Okay. Right, I'm going to deorbit this. Oh, it started. Wow. So did this one have the engine that worked? Right. We're going to pull this down. And I think then we're going to come back and rescue the others. So I'm not going to show you this going through the atmosphere unless anything interesting happens. Right, our crew from the space station has landed. It looks like we're in the Himalayas or somewhere. It's very mountainous. These are the ones that have only been up there for, I think, literally a few days. So they're the first evacuees. Let's get these back to base and then let's see what else is going on. Right, here we are back on Dawn 2, and it's just spinning still. So let's see if we can get some control of it. Bit of that. There we go. Can we get any sort of control? I want to be on the normal. There we go. Get me onto the normal. Get me some control on the normal. Does it seem to be slowing? Right, I think it is slowing down now. Right, now, I have a plan. You lot are stressed. I mean, you're on 30%. So if those two bottom out, what are you, Monica? What are you? Where are you, Monica? You are the pilot. You're the one that I actually need anyway. The others are less important. You're all in the capsule. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut down the pressure controllers. Right, that gives me a day. What about this one? Turn that off. That gives me more time. The problem is, if we're spinning, I don't get electric charge. And I don't know why we're spinning. You know what? What's in you? What have you got? You've got nothing. We're gonna have to. I don't want to leave a bit of it in space. Can I manually? Yeah, turn that. Is that the right way? Yeah. Right. If this doesn't stop it or slow it down, then we have a problem. Because all I am doing now is firing against its rotation. Right. Come on. Yeah, that's definitely slowing. It's just it's had a lot of speed. These crew have been in a world of interesting hurt. Right, there we go. Right, that's now stopped. So now we're going to go on to normal. Right. So we're now up to 2 days. I need to find my pressure controllers. We're going to basically run us without pressure. There we go. So oxygen is now perpetual, right? Because we've got a LOX converter. We've got breathable air is less than the LOX converter. So we were actually, we just weren't with all those crew dealing with what we needed to deal with. The problem is this craft is now attached to it. What I was thinking was, if this engine was on that side, I'd have actually decoupled this bit on the bottom and got it out of orbit. I don't want to leave this in orbit. It is a big chunk of space debris. Right. So we're going to watch this now. What's the habitat telling me about comfort? Have we still got pressurization? Let's have a look. What's my pressure level? How is the pressure at 70.2 now? Has it actually gone up? I mean, is that something? Let's turn this on. No, let's turn this one on. So let's run it. It's running. It's down. We've got 2 days of oxygen, and that is going up. So let's. If I time warp it, it's gonna get annoying. Let's physical time warp it and watch it. Is it going up? It is going up. Right. So we're at 70.3 now. We're going to stop that, and I'm going to put us on this here. So we're going to run forward. 70.3 we're on. Let's have a look. We're getting sunlight, are we? We're going to run out of electric charge. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can gain electricity. It's not a hugely big problem. We've got enough electricity to charge the batteries now. Right. What are we on to? We're at 70.6. Okay. So it is going up. Is it going to go up quick enough to actually make up for that, though? Our LOX to O2 converters are running at maximum. Where are they? The only ones we've got are on here, aren't they? We didn't build any into the rest of the craft, I don't think. Right. I can't risk it. I'm sorry, team. I can't risk it. We're going to have to turn that off. So, plan is, we're going to align this to the sun, and then, and I hate to say this, I'm going to leave them there in their pressure suits, because we are too close to that contract to not do that. They've got 33 days. Okay, it's a 60-day contract. They've got 33 days to go. They've done all of the hard work already. I think we have to go for it. I think we have to push them. Right. Come on. Just go back there, please. Right. I need to get this aligned to the sun. Where's our thing? Right. Let's do this. So I want to get as good a sun as possible. There we go. Exposure 100%. Wear 17%. Solar panel electric charge, wonderful. Right, so I think we're good. We're good for this. So we've got food and water's fine. We've got 20 days of liquid oxygen. I'm going to turn off the converter. Let's turn that off. That gives me enough oxygen. We've got loads of oxygen. So without pressurization, this is fine. Okay. We're going to leave it. We're going to go back to the main screen, wait for 33 days. Hopefully they don't go crazy. And living space is ideal, is it? Really? It doesn't say anything about pressurized cabins. Oh, pressure. 35.4 kilopascals. No CO2. Okay. That's because we've just evacuated the atmosphere like 3 or 4 times. That is a bit low. Right, let's go back to the Space Center, and then we're gonna go forward 33 days and see what happens. Right, here we are. We're gonna warp forward a bit there. 13 project, right? Okay, 9 days. Let's have a look. Oh, we're getting lots of science data coming in. That's nice. Getting lots of KCT points, but I want to see this go. So we're going to get through to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Uh-oh, warning. Oxygen levels are dangerously low. Losing their mind. Okay, what's the situation with oxygen? It's 97 days. How has that gone down again? So we had hundreds of days, and in the space of 30 days, it's gone down to 97 days. So we're running at 14%. That's why the warning came up. Right, let's have a look. How are we looking for this? 36, 40, 33. Okay, radiation's not a problem. It is just stress. Right. Let's get this mission done. Let's get it done. Let's get them down. Because that station is playing very silly right now. I have not updated anything on the save. I'm concerned that it almost feels as though something has updated and broken, because it was doing perfectly fine. There we go. It's done. Why is it not? Literally, you saw that. It went past it. It went past it and it's appeared again. Do I need to go to the craft to confirm it? Is this something we do? Right, let's go and have a look. And if it's not, we're going to have to cheat it completely, because it was 60 days. You saw it roll past 60 days. Right, here we are back. And, oh, what's this? Oh, we have got a contract completed. We've done the 60 days. So there you go. That's $750,000 just for keeping it up for 30 more days. We have finished another craft. We're going to launch that actually later. So I think we have to get this crew off here now. They're ready to go. Let us get the avionics on. There we go. Right, so yet again, because I put crew on, and so even before they leave, they have to go on. Okay, so we have to. Right, the avionics is on. That's interesting. Right, do I take the crew off? And that sounds okay. So it says it's on. Yeah, there's something going on quite special with this. I think we're going to turn on the liquid oxygen converter, and I'm going to decouple from here. No, I'm not. I'm going to decouple from here because that's the one that's going to undock it. I'm going to jump across. That's the craft. We're going to fire the RCS in the rearward direction. We're probably going to take that. Oh, that's going to be that was a tight docking, that wasn't it? Did I dock? I must have got the autopilot to dock it, because that is tight. That is not a good place for a docking port, actually, thinking about it. Right, let's check that we've got everything on that needs to be on. So you are going to be on. You are going to be on. Over this side, I mean, I don't need all of these on. I think it only needs this craft, probably only needs 2 or 3 of them. That's the tank. We've got this. Let's get that running. Dumping water. What else have we got? We've got the pressurizer. And now let's have a look at this. Oh, we're not going to run them on pressure. We're not going to risk it. Oh. Right. I believe you are the one that then must have the broken engine. So we're going to orientate you retrograde. And we're going to just see if we can fire the engine up. If we can't fire the engine up, we can't fire the engine up. It's not a big problem. Interesting, the last one, the engine didn't try and ignite as soon as I put thrust into it. It actually waited until it was settled, which is odd at the best of times. Let's see, can I... Oh, wow, it has actually worked. One of these had a broken engine. I know they had, because it would have been a nightmare to dock. So that's interesting. You guys, I'm going to bring down reasonably fast. So we're going to bring these down, and then we're going to come back and have a look at the station, I think. We're just entering the atmosphere. I'm just going to decouple absolutely everything. Probably not the safest way of doing it. That's going to come back and hit us, I'm pretty sure. I would like to, let's have a look. Surface velocity minus, and I'd like the roll to be there. There we go. That nice. There we go. We're going to put this onto descent mode because of the way I'm coming down. Turn descent mode on. That's good. We're going to actually pop you over there. That means I don't want to control pitch and yaw. I just want to control roll. I'm not sure if you can on this, but we'll see. Right. let's get this thing through the atmosphere. I'm concerned that's going to come back and hit us, but if it does, it does. It would just sum up this mission per year. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, it's not floating away the way I thought it was. I thought I was not pointing perfectly on my retrograde. Right. Oh dear. Yeah, that's gonna come back with force. That might be a problem. That is going to be a problem. Can I do a bit of? So I don't have the ability to do that. Oh dear. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Oh dear. That's not good. Yep, and it's fixed its orientation, hasn't it? Of course it has. So it's going to hold itself in that thing and capture me. There, come on, just go past. Go past. Oh god, that's scraping. Oh, because it's got its own control system there. It's able to do that, hasn't it? Right. Okay, now we're going to go through the atmosphere. This should be okay. So I shall see you when this is finished. So here we are at the end of their mission in space, the longest duration we've had anybody in space actually forever. The crew are pushing themselves down. Well, they're not pushing themselves down. They're falling down at the ocean. We'll recover them. And let's see what we can do with this station, I think. Dawn Station. And yeah, I'm actually torn as to whether to try and salvage it or just get rid of it. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of money being spent on this. Now, equally, we have earned it back. We've got over $1 million for missions to stay on orbit. It's more successful than its predecessor, Dawn 1. However, and there is a lot of on-orbit materials here. We've got supplies for days, but the problem is, I don't know which bit is the problem. Now, we saw earlier that it actually started to go into a spin after a time warp. That suggests to me there's some sort of glitch in it somewhere. We've also got the pressurant problem. Now, I wonder whether we can pressurize it without anybody on board and whether that will work. So let's try this. Now, the other thing is this uses nitrogen as a pressurant and everything else uses oxygen. So I'm not entirely sure what the situation there is going to be. So we have to think about that. So we've got oxygen for 1 day. Right. Do I have any converters? I do not. I don't believe we actually have yes, that's a big problem. So we're just going to use up oxygen supplies if we try and pressurize this. Wow. But it is pressurizing reasonably quickly. I wonder if I really just want to dump this section. It's since this section went up, there's a problem, but then this port again is pointless if we don't have this attached. It's a completely wasted space. I think we're going to just dump it. I think it's a better idea just to dump it. We could send craft up that are empty and unload stuff off them, but that is a faff, and I don't want to pass anything on. If there's a bug in this model somewhere, like a little virusy thing, if it's moving around, I don't want it to pass through. I don't want a glitch to pass through in something. So yeah, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to position this thing in the retrograde, and I think we're going to bring it down. Now, the question will be, where do I want to bring it down? I think we have enough fuel to bring this down pretty quickly. I think I want to bring it down immediately, in fact. I think is what we have to do. I think we just fire every piece of fuel we've got off. Have we got anything tied up? We don't have. Actually, let's have a look. Let's bring in. This engine requires NTO, Erosine, and helium. So where's my NTO? There it is. That is all available, is it? I believe it is. Yes, it is. Wonderful. Helium, we are all unlocked as well, and Erosine looks all unlocked. So we've got tanks up there. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're gonna first of all fire the thrusters. We're going to settle that engine, and then we're going to activate the engine. There we go. It's going to give us a push. Now, of course, we do have extra mass on one side. It's not a balanced craft, so that's going to be fun. We just need to get this thing into the atmosphere is what I'm thinking. But I'm going to give it as deep a dive as possible. We don't want it to take time burning up. We want this thing to just burn up quickly. So let's speed up this thrusting, I think. There we go. If this engine failed now, I would be crying. But we are in the atmosphere. We're going to hit the atmosphere. That's a definite. Now it's just a case of how quickly we're going to hit the atmosphere. All right, we are going to go down reasonably quickly. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are. Where's our intercept? I would like to do it in the daylight, We're currently off the coast of Africa, are we? No, South America. Oh, that's a bad place to come in. I think we need to be sooner than that. What is that there? Oh, that's the probes, the MEL probes. Okay, because they've done all the stuff out. We've got Discovery 3 still in orbit. I mean, that's something I need to deal with. The ECOMs are floating around. 3,800, 3,000. Yeah, that's a nice altitude. Right, are we almost out of fuel? There we are. We are almost out. We've got another minute of burn on this. Let's let it keep going. Let's let it empty everything out of it. So it's got another 200 meters per second. I'm going to stop it early, am I? I can't remember what our thrusters use. I think we're going to stop it with a little bit of fuel left just so that the thrusters can orientate it a little bit. Give it a couple of meters per second. Yeah, because I don't want it being horrendous. Yeah, no, actually, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let the whole thing just go. There we go. We're now out of that. Right, we are now on the way. We've got RCS is no longer working. We've got turn that off. We don't need it. Right, we don't need you anymore. Smart SES, you can come down here. So I think this is going to be it, isn't it? We're gonna get it into the atmosphere and see what happens. We could have broken it up. We could have broken it up and had it go in bits. We are not. We're going to just send the whole thing down in one. It'll dump it into the ocean. Oh, please tell me that is not land over there that I'm looking at. We were not supposed to go over land. This should be the Pacific. Traditionally, I do think there is. Isn't there somewhere? I think there's somewhere in the Pacific or off the. Is it off the coast of near? Well, I was going to say near Australia. The furthest point from land anywhere on the planet is where they tend to put these nice deep water. Well, not so much deep water, but water as far away from land as possible is normally where they aim their returns of large craft. Well, unless you're China, of course, in which case you just let it, fall randomly because you forgot to put any extra fuel on to control it. We're now going side on. This is going to be interesting, right? I'm gonna move forward until we get to the point of atmospheric interface. Right, we have atmospheric interface now, so we're going through it. I'm going to speed it up a little bit until we start to get some signs of things. We can see we've got a bit of a roll on it. There was a roll after the final burn, and it is continued. We're just running. I think we're running at about 3 or 4 times normal speed right now. So we're just going to go through the atmosphere. You can see we've still got the antennas out, and now we're starting as we slow down a little bit on the camera. We started to orientate. Oh, we're going to slow it down a little bit more. I think it's going to go soon. I think we're going to go to normal speed here. So we've lost the engine pretty quickly. We're going to lose that side unit, I think. There we go. We lost the fuel tank at the bottom has gone. We've lost the structures around there. We've still got some parts still holding on. Wow. Oh, and now it's going. Now we've got everything going. Oh, it's going. Oh, and we are gone. Completely gone. Wow. That was pretty quick. So there we go. Dawn is gone. I guess Dawn 3 is going to be on the cards, isn't it? Right, let's go and do something a little different now. Welcome to the launch pad. And yeah, this is a big one. If you look on, I don't know if you better see on the screen, depending on your device you're using, you will see that the vessel mass for this is over 2,200 tons. This is on our unlimited pad. This is the Javelin 75 with a special payload, the LELAR 1 actually. So that's the Lunar Experimental Landing and Return, or some such like that. I can't remember. We're gonna launch this using the Ascent Guidance, see if it works. We do have another one being built, and we're gonna see how far we get with this. So I think we are ready. You can see it's got a lot of delta V in this thing. So let's let it do its thing. Right, we are just on the final countdown now. It's had to go through about, I think, 15 hours or so. So we're going to launch in the dark, which is never fun, but we'll see how it goes. So we're at a point now. The engines are go, go, go. They have started. We've got thrust, and it should fire now. There we go. We've got solids to help it go. Now, those solids are not going to detach. Their burn time is actually a reasonably long burn time, which fits quite nicely with those main engines. The only reason I didn't put more of the main engines on is because it just made the craft very large. We could have had the liquid fuel boosters, very sort of Soviet in their style if we'd had liquid fuel boosters, but we are using American boosters on the side of this, and those are 4 boosters off the, I think it's the Titan 3. Was that the one with the Titan 3D, Titan 2D? I can't remember which one it was. which had the huge solid boosters on. So we've got 4 of those on there, and they're going to help push us up there. Of course, on the Titan, they were used primarily for the launch, and then you actually air lit the main engine. Here, we've got the main engines on from the start, and you can see we've got a decent sort of burn going on there. This thing is burning through a lot of fuel. We've lost 500 tons of fuel already. As we head on up there, you can see we're about 40 seconds into flight, and we have shed close to almost a quarter of our mass already, just to get us to this point. So we are definitely going for it. Rising up there, lots and lots of thrust. Huge fairing on the top of this. The huge fairing is because we've got a lot of options as to what we can do with this thing, and so we've got a standard sized fairing on the top. We may make a bigger fairing, we may even make a smaller one if it gets a bit silly, but yeah, this thing I have some plans for. It can put, because it's called, of course, the... did I call it? Yeah, it's called the 75, so it should be able to put about 75 tons into orbit, which would be very nice for us if it can. Unfortunately, given the engines on the first stage, it's likely we may have problems with that, but we'll see. We're likely to always have a few engine issues. So we're going on up there. We're doing almost 700 meters per second now relative to the surface. So that's not doing too bad. We are turning over at a reasonable rate. 40 kilometers is our apoapsis at the moment, so we're getting on up there. You can see the solids have sort of reduced their thrust now. They're not giving as much as they maybe were. They will continue to add a little bit because they just burn slowly, but we are going to be carrying some extra mass because of that, which is a negative of this craft. But decoupling and the risk of damage to the craft when decoupling is just something I didn't want to play around with. So maybe a future version, and I do think you get a significant more amount of mass to orbit if you decouple, but I've had some issues with decoupling the large boosters recently, and particularly on a craft of this size, I didn't want to play into it. Plus, we're still getting some thrust from those solids at the moment anyway, so I don't feel too bad about it. They're going to basically finish off their burn just before we actually finish off the main thrust on the main stage. So you can see we're getting every last tiny bit of delta V out of those solids because we're carrying them, so they sort of make up for their own mass a little bit with that long burn time now. First stage is coming towards burning out. We've got 22 seconds left on it, and that's going to be a big jump here. We're going to jump to a different stage. There we go. So the solids have now gone completely. We don't have that residual thrust, which is really nice because it means we're not going to get the push off them at the end, which sometimes you do get with solids. So it means we don't have to worry about them firing at the side of the craft. And again, if they've still got producing thrust, you don't want to decouple them in case they actually accelerate past your craft or into your craft or anything like that. You want them to be basically dead or pushed well away. So there we go. Next stage fires, and we have ignition of... There we go. Right, let's have a look at this so you can see. So here we are. Here's our engines. What are they? They are RD 0208s or 0210s there. I think we've used them before, haven't we? Yeah, so we just got a ring of those. They're our second stage. We're not currently out of the atmosphere, so I'm avoiding using hydrolox. We could use hydrolox on this stage, but I also needed a push, and I needed a stage that was going to be quite sort of dense. I need a nice dense stage at this point, so not massively worried about how long it's going to burn for. It's going to give us a good punch. We're currently at 0.8 thrust to weight, or 0.9 almost, and we're going to get to a maximum of about 2, which should give us a nice push up there. Right, let us keep going. Right, we are now over the 100 kilometers up mark, and we have got fairing separation, and that does not look healthy. We might want to increase the force on those thrusters, I think. So now you can see actually what's on top. We've got what looks like one of our transfer stages on the very top there, and we have a craft. Let's have a look at that craft, shall we? Let's have a look. So we've got a unit on the top here that looks a bit boxy. It's got a little engine there. We've got a hollow interstage in there. We got some solar panels hidden away. We could actually open those, but we're not out of the atmosphere yet. We got another stage here, and then we have another stage here. So we've got lots and lots of stages here. You can see we've got about 3,700 in this. We've got a big chunk in this. We've got a chunk in this. We've got a lot of stages going on here. So we will see how this goes. What have we got on the top of there? Is that Parachutes. Ooh, parachutes. Why would I have parachutes on? I wonder. Right. We have a lot on this craft. But first thing we're going to do is get it into orbit, haven't we? So we've got another minute or so on this. I'm actually going to speed it up a bit. Force the ascent guidance to do it for me. I have simulated launching this. I have not simulated anything to do with the payload. So I have simulated the launch stack without the payload on. This is the first launch I've done it. So I tend not to do a lot of simulations. I will use like a dummy weight on this just to simulate it. Oh, we have got... I forgot we've got the solar panels set to auto-deploy in space. I don't know if I like that. Sometimes that can be problematic, but we will see. Yeah, that's sometimes problematic. Right. Let's see how this thing goes. It should hopefully be getting somewhere nice. We're going to go for a 200 by 200 orbit. I've had a reasonably gentle sort of lift on this because it is a long-burning craft. So we'll see how it goes. Once it's in orbit, it should be okay though. Let's have a look. What's it's currently got 3 hours of electric charge. We've got liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen are going to be lasting a while. Well, here we go. Because we're burning them, this becomes inaccurate for the old liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen stage. Now it's going to be pushing us up there because it needs to get us up, does it? Has it got control? Do we actually have control right now? My concern is that doesn't look to be control. Oh, we have lost an engine. That'd be why. So we've got an off burning engine now. If I remember rightly, I tilted these when we started it. So, yeah, this is problematic. This stage should get us to orbit, but I am concerned by how long it needs to burn. What is the rated burn time on these? Does it say? Where's my rated burn time? We've got one. You know what? I wonder if what's the problem with this one? It's a red warning. What's the problem? We've got a failure to ignite, is that right? We have a failure to ignite, so I wonder whether I can force it. So can I, let's have a look. This one. This is the one. So, remove from symmetry. Show activation toggles. It's not doing it. That's my gimbal. Hide activation. I want this one to shut down and restart, but it won't let me. Will it? That's interesting. Why? I should normally... be able to turn it on and back on, off and back on again. That's really weird. Why is it doing that? Right, let's have a look. What's our relative inclination looking at? Do we know? Let's actually do this. Let's have a look at the what's going on right now, because I think this engine being off is going to be a problem. 0.1 degrees, 18 degrees, so we are catching it. Okay, that's fine. I think these two engines on their own should be okay. This is I think this is one of the first times we've had a fail on one of these LR87s. And I think they're uprated versions. This is one of the more uprated versions we now got, because we've got 2 ignitions on it. I'm annoyed at the fact that I can't shut them off and... See, you can shut that one down. I cannot shut that one down. That's interesting. So that's obviously it is actually a big failure. It is not a you can restart it, you've got a thing. What is that? What is that there? That's something. That's obviously something good going on. So I had a fail to ignite on that. One of the 3 engines not working. I'm hoping, yeah, we should be getting to orbit today. I think 800 meters per second left. We're pretty much at the right apoapsis. Periapsis is going to come up quickly. I hope. I really hope. I'm actually starting to get a bit worried now. This could be closer than I would like. No, we should be fine. We should be okay. A relative inclination is going to be beautiful, I think. Right, let's have a look. 20 something seconds left. We've got 300 meters per second. If this goes early, we're not going to make it. And then I have to start thinking about the next stage and what that next stage requires. Right, we are now safe. We're in orbit. There we go. Right. Close that down. What did we have? We're 200 meters per second left. Okay, that's good because this tank is so large. What we could have done is actually get rid of that cover as well. That's actually excess weight, but we'll forget about that. Let's decouple. And then let me activate the RCS. Right, turn the RCS on and give me a little push. There we go. We're out of that there. Wonderful. Right. So what you can see here is we have our transfer stage. That's going to hopefully take us to the moon. We've got a little stage here. which interestingly did not get its solar panels extended. That I find very interesting, considering the fact that all the other things extended. So we've got the solar panels extended now. This is going to be our capture stage around the moon. And then we've got our descent and landing stage here, which I think should be enough for a descent and landing. And then on the top here, we have can I grab that engine? There we go. We unfortunately have an asterisk, which yes, not been having a great time with. So could be an interesting one. And I'm hoping that can get us anywhere. However, you may notice there are some additional bits on it. So we'll see how that goes. We do, I believe, we've got all sorts of controls on it. I don't know if I have, yeah, I've got some, here we go. We've got some little small thrusters in there as well, and we've got some RCS built in. So we do have some control to do some thrusting and stuff. But the whole aim of this craft is literally get yourself home, okay? That is the mission plan for it. Right, we do have 10 hours of electricity. We've got perpetual liquid oxygen because it's not burning off. I'm just gonna let it run around until we get into the sun. Actually, you know what? We'll plot our thing first. So let's go maneuver planner. We can just do a Hoffman transfer. There we go. Hoffman transfer is going to be in 16 minutes. Okay, we're going to do it on the dark side. So I think we're going to leave that there for now. Next episode, we're going to take this thing to the moon. We're going to try and land it. If that interests you, please join me.